Welcome back to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're coming to you from our home studios because we always want to make sure that everyone, first and foremost, is safe and healthy. So we're honored to be joined by our next guest who's in her home as well. But we have with us Ruth Abigail Smith. She's a co-founder and executive director with AngelStreet Memphis. How are you doing?
Hi, doing great, Jeremy. Thanks so much for having me today.
So AngelStreet Memphis, you have been a charity spotlight on our end with cityCURRENT. You do so much good here in the community. We'll talk in just a second about how everything that's going on has kind of shifted you to an online focus with the girls that you serve. But give us a little bit of history for AngelStreet Memphis, because 6 years at this point in terms of history. So give us a history lesson.
Yeah. So AngelStreet started in 2013. Jill Dyson, who's now titled president and founder, got a phone call to start a children's choir for a women's Christmas dinner at Hope Church. And she called me to help out with that. So we brought girls together, formed about 11 girls to start this choir. It was supposed to be a one-time thing. And then over some time, we asked ourselves, hey, can we make this more permanent? And at the time, we were in the Bigford community, 38107, which is in North Memphis, uptown area. And that's where we kind of plugged in at first. So we kind of took that idea of singing and songwriting and recording for all girls. And we kept going, and it kept growing, and more girls kept coming. And so that's how it started. And so we have performed with a ton of different people, a ton of different places, mostly in Memphis, but even outside of it. We've had Terry Bass, who was one of our original girls, go on to literally follow her dream of being an artist and a worship leader with Toby Mack. And she is his lead female vocalist and has put out several singles since. Is doing fantastic. She still lives here in Memphis with her husband and able to just really literally follow her dreams. So that's been really exciting. And a lot of our girls know her and are inspired by her. And so we've enjoyed seeing that. 2 years ago, we opened up our second location in the Graham Heights area, where we partner with Streets Ministries. In the North Memphis area, we partner with Oasis of Hope. And so we have seen several hundred girls, quite frankly, come through our doors in the last 6 years, and have had great experiences. We do musical training, we do performances, we do mentoring. We think it's important to connect young women with other female leaders in our community, whether it be on our staff or women that we connect with. And so that's something that we're excited to continue to go and do and be even more, a little bit more intentional with. And so that's kind of an overview of what we've been doing. And we specifically are existing in areas with that are economically disadvantaged, believing that quality, all-female, free arts programs is something that that everyone should have access to, regardless of where your economic status is. And so that's what we're really trying to provide.
Absolutely. And I think in an era where, unfortunately, arts programs are getting cut back, you're stepping in and serving in that gap. And carry that forward a little bit on your end, because we'll talk about more specifically the programs, and especially one that you've launched here recently. But so much of this is equipping young women with the confidence and the communication skills and the ability and the hope to realize, wait a second, I can be a catalyst. I can be a change maker. I can use these skill sets that I'm learning in this one area of my life, but then I can apply them to academic success, to relationships, to a career. It really does give them a solid foundation to build on for their future. So talk about it from that kind of character building side of what you're doing throughout these programs.
Absolutely. So the three main things that we're looking to do with our young ladies is for them to understand their value, discover their purpose, and become creative leaders. That is what we are seeking to accomplish with them in our program. And just like you said, ultimately that we can use music to shape people. And so that's what our focus has been. And it will continue to be. We want to lift up voices of young women in song, but also in speech, also, in different ways to, for them to represent themselves. I mean, that's something that is really important to us. We are simply supporting who they are. We are not, we don't want to display who they are. They can do that. And so we want to put them on the stage, if you will, to display who they are, and really display the power that they have within themselves.
Give us, you've already really shared one success story, but share without, you don't have to name names, you can if you want, but how this has transformed a young lady in terms of giving her, where she kind of walks in shy at first, and then all of a sudden you literally before your eyes, you get to see them blossom and shine and become this very bright light for others.
Oh gosh. Well, let me just pick one. There was a young lady. She came to our program, I think, about 2 or 3 years ago, and she was the definition of shy. And not just that, but pretty insecure, quite frankly. Didn't really believe that she was beautiful. Didn't believe that she was capable of doing a lot of things she's doing now. And we were able to, through just, pouring into her, giving her opportunities, talking with her about some hard things, talking with her mom and her family, and just really partnering with them to really pour into this young lady. And now she's one of our star vocalists. She has a song she leads every time, and she is probably one of the biggest ambassadors we have. I mean, the smile on her face is unbelievable every time. She can tell you everything about AngelStreet. And so we have literally seen the girl we met 2 or 3 years ago is not the same girl we see today. And that has been one of the most rewarding things for us and for me, just watching that happen.
Share on your end, because you mentioned engaging the family, right? And this is a very collaborative approach, in other words. So it's not just them coming in and getting the foundation and the technical skills, whether it be through song and performance. It really is collaboration. And even to your point of working with streets and different organizations, everything you do is very collaborative and holistic. So expand out in terms of not just the programmatic piece, but that collaborative piece of what you're really doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't exist in a silo. Our entire strategic method, if you will, is to partner with people. And it's to partner with organizations, and it's to partner with families, because we aren't so, I guess, naive as to think that we can do things all by ourselves. That's not how we want to exist. We want to come alongside people that are already doing something, already in the path that they're looking to be on. And we just want to be, an add-on to that, a jump start to that. And so it looks like that with our partnerships with organizations that are serving youth, and that have our same values and goals for those youth. And so we're able to come alongside and be a impact the females of that program. With our families, we are able to connect with families. A lot of our girls have siblings that maybe aren't old enough to start, but when they do, they'll jump into the program as well. And we see parents, pick up and drop off, and we're constantly engaging them. Also, just through performances, there's nothing like seeing a parent watch their child perform for the first time in a way that they would have never imagined. And that's one of the most powerful things. And we've seen that when we can do that, the parents are like, oh, I'm sold. Like I want them in here, for as long as we can. So that's been really fun. And then just as far as the community is concerned, one thing that we have done in the Bigford community, and we've been a part of, let me say it like that, is really wanting to figure out a way to lift the voice of the community and the residents of the community, because we really believe that if the community and the environment in which we exist is successful and thriving, then the girls will thrive, and then we will thrive. And so what we ask ourselves, what is our relationship to the community and as a community partner? And one of those is like advocating for issues within the community. And so we've partnered with other entities in that community, Oasis of Hope, Bigford, we're in Bigford Community Center, Habitat for Humanity, Promise Development, and Hope City Church specifically, to really come alongside and be supportive of the things that are going on in that community. One of the things that we have heard constantly is whenever we have hosted a few community meetings, and one of the things that we've heard is we want more things for our children. And that is top of mind for so many folks. And so we want to be able to meet that in the best way possible.
That's a good transition to what we're up against right now. And the timing is, obviously you've got COVID-19, the coronavirus. And so that really has, with the quarantine, put kids in the home literally, to where, now the parents and the children are figuring out the homeschooling and trying to continue down that path. But now, for the most part, kids are really kind of glued to electronics and TV and things along those lines, stuck inside. And I know for you all, you've created a really powerful solution to still engage them in a meaningful way, and to make sure that although we're in a quarantine period, you can still progress and you can still grow and you can still learn. And so share with us, just kind of what you're seeing on that regard, and then switch over and talk about Angel Zone.
Yeah. So as a team, we just started this reality of disengagement in this period just started to kind of weigh a little heavy. And we were just thinking, when you think about it, a typical week of kids, when you look at the school engagement plus some after school engagement, you're probably looking at about 55 hours a week that students are engaged with something outside of the home that's involved with other adults and other peers in their life. And so through this quarantine period, that's been taken away. Like that's 55 hours of time that has to be filled. And that was
a big number.
Dark reality, right? If we go through the end of May from where we started and about and at the beginning of March, we'll be hitting about 12 weeks of that reality. 660 hours of disengagement, right? Whereas previously that was filled with something. And so the weight of that has just really has really impacted us as a team. And so one of the things that we wanted to do, although we know we can't fill up all that time, but we did want to see what can we do, what part can we play in the meantime of trying to do something to fill in some of that gap. And so the way that we've approached it is developing a digital platform for our girls to engage in most of the same ways they can in person, called Angel Zone. And so what Angel Zone is our platform. We are able to do rehearsals. We're able to record and do rehearsals as far as just them learning parts. We are able to post videos, do content, kind of fun videos. We've gotten really into TikTok lately and doing a lot of YouTube stuff. We're putting content out just every week. Every week we're putting out new content. We're able to walk through the process of getting our girls engaged, getting them signed up. And one of the most rewarding experiences of that, and we actually had already planned on doing this before, was just being in regular contact with our families. And so we call at least once or twice a week, first of all, just to ask how they're doing. See what we can do. If are there anything they need, any resources, and we point to them. We've done several grocery deliveries in that process. And then seeing how else we can support. Do you have internet access? And if not, what are some ways that we can make sure that happens? Do you have the right devices? And if not, what are some ways that or places we could point, or even ways that we could make that happen? And we've seen that the distance learning online is difficult. I mean, just to be totally honest, I mean, it's a hard transition. And so we are constantly working to make sure that folks have the ability to do it and have the resources to do it. Let me say it like that, more so the resources to do it. And we're finding that a lot of parents are figuring that out. And we're encouraged by that. Today, we're going to get to host our first Zoom meeting with rehearsal. And so that's going to be an experience, and we're excited about that. We're trying to get as many of the girls on the Zoom call as we can and just talk and just re-engage and just continue to see how that can look. So that's Angel Zone, and that's kind of the approach that we've been taking these last few weeks, and it's a work in progress, and we will continue to work it. But one of the things we're most excited about with the Angel Zone is that it's not something just for quarantine season. It's something that can enhance the engagement after, when we kind of get back to business as usual, whatever that might look like. Yeah. And we can still engage girls, particularly ones that may not be able to come as often, or may have moved, or are in other school programs, or have to do after school tutoring, all things that we've seen that may cause girls to not be as consistent, but now they can still have that experience online. And so they don't have to miss a beat.
Yeah, and I think that's the way I'm trying to look at this as well, is that it does force the hand for all of us to be more focused on using technology to connect and collaborate and to continue building momentum. But it does create opportunities for the future where it's like, okay, this really is a viable platform to be able to expand our services and our reach. And this is something that, like you said, even though we might normalize, we can still, and hopefully we'll normalize soon, we can still leverage all of these skills that we're learning in this technology to be able to, once things are normal, be able to still do more. And I think that's a really cool kind of positive way to look at everything we're going through, is just the growth that we can all have using this sort of technology. Share a little bit on, I know that all of this is possible through grants from Arch Memphis and AutoZone, which I think that's kind of neat in terms of back to collaboration, groups stepping up to help and fill that need.
Yeah. Yes. And so we're incredibly grateful for them and just supporting this effort. They've been incredible supports. We've also, Speak Creative is also one of those. They are behind the scenes helping us to really work the kinks out online to do that in that digital space. And so we're incredible. We cannot exist without the financial resources of folks like them. It's just not possible. And so we're incredibly grateful to have that partnership.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask next, is the fact that, on your end, financial contributions are huge. So obviously the financial support is a big one. Volunteerism, especially once things normalize, you rely on volunteers. So share a few ways we can help, obviously, hopefully once we normalize soon, the physical side, but also right now, how can we help?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just jump right into the financial support. We know that this is a difficult time, in the economy, and we're very aware of that. And so we appreciate the support that we already have from all of our supporters. And they have been incredibly generous. We've specifically had a few donors to donate a match fund for us in this season. We had a golf tournament that was planned that had to be canceled as a result. And so in order to try to recoup some of that, they have put together a match fund for that. And so the way you can be a part of that is to become a recurring giver. And that can start as low as $11 a month. We call our recurring givers Halo Heroes. And so we're really excited to be able to give that opportunity for people, because that $11 isn't just $11. We'll annualize it, and it turns into more in order to go to that match fund. And that match fund is $45,000. And so we're really, we're excited about being able to do that and launch that. And so that's one way. You can go to our website, AngelStreetMemphis.com, and click on, I believe it says give. And so click on that, and it'll take you through the process of becoming a recurring giver. In this particular season, we are doing this particular launch right now, but we're always looking for recurring givers. It is a great platform for getting engaged with AngelStreet. Yes, we are always looking for volunteers. One of the things right now that we've gotten a lot of volunteers to do is to provide groceries for families that might be in need. And so I was on a call this morning with a volunteer who said, hey, we need a family has asked for groceries. Can we provide that? She said, yes, we're going to coordinate something tomorrow and get those groceries to families. So we're excited about that. But during the year, we provide meals for students. And so on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, full meals. So we're always looking for volunteers to support that. And it's just a great way to also engage with the girls in that way. We're looking for mentors. We are looking to really intentionalize and ramp up our mentoring program this year. And so we're looking to pair every girl we have with a mentor and to do that starting in the fall. And so those would be kind of our three top needs right now as an organization, and we love for people to get involved.
And last question, you mentioned the website, but go ahead and mention it again, but just where do we go to learn more and get involved?
Yep. AngelStreetMemphis.com is where you go. And you can email info@AngelStreetMemphis.com as well. And that will come to us. Also, you can call 901-736-3520. And that will get you an Angel Street person, and we will help you out. So any of those ways, AngelStreetMemphis.com, info@AngelStreetMemphis.com. and 901-736-3520.
Ruth Abigail Smith, co-founder and executive director, AngelStreet Memphis. Thank you for all that you do, you and your team. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeremy.